Welcome to What's Happening Now, your go-to source for all things geopolitics and international relations. I'm VG, and each week we dive deep into the complex world of global affairs, unraveling the stories behind the headlines and exploring the forces shaping our world. From diplomatic shifts and international conflicts to emerging trends and global power dynamics, we're here to break down the big issues and provide you with the insights you need to understand today's rapidly changing landscape. So whether you're a seasoned political junkie or just curious about the world stage, hit that subscribe button and join us as we navigate the intricate web of global politics. Let's dive into what's happening now. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan called for an alliance of Islamic nations to counter what he terms Israel's growing threat of expansionism. His remarks come as Turkey works to improve ties with Egypt and Syria, aiming to form a united front against perceived regional threats. Erdogan's call has heightened diplomatic tensions, with Israel's foreign minister, Israel Katz, denouncing the statements as dangerous lies and incitement. This development underscores growing geopolitical friction in the Middle East, as Turkey positions itself as a leading voice among Muslim countries in opposition to Israel's policies and actions. Former U.S. President Donald Trump has issued warnings regarding a potential 100% tariff on nations attempting to de-dollarize their economies. As some countries, particularly emerging economies, explore reducing their reliance on the U.S. dollar for international trade, Trump sees this as a threat to America's economic dominance. He argues that such moves would weaken the global standing of the dollar and undermine U.S. influence in global markets. The proposed tariff would serve as a retaliatory measure to discourage countries from shifting to alternative currencies like the Chinese yuan or creating regional trading blocs independent of the dollar. First time, Pakistan's Army Chief General Asim Munir has publicly acknowledged the Pakistani military's direct involvement in the 1999 Kargil War against India. This marks a major shift from Pakistan's earlier stance, which frequently attributed the conflict to freedom fighters rather than its armed forces. General Munir made the admission during a Defense Day event, emphasizing the sacrifices made by Pakistani soldiers in various conflicts, including Kargil. Coming 25 years after the war, which nearly escalated into a full-scale conflict between India and Pakistan, this acknowledgement is a significant moment in the history of bilateral relations. United Arab Emirates, UAE, recently signed a landmark agreement on civil nuclear cooperation. Cemented during Abu Dhabi Crown Prince Sheikh Khalid bin Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan's visit to New Delhi. The deal facilitates collaboration between the Nuclear Power Corporation of India Limited, NPCIL, and the Emirates Nuclear Energy Corporation, EEC, for the operation and maintenance of nuclear power plants in the UAE. This agreement marks a major step in deepening the strategic partnership between the two nations and includes provisions for sourcing nuclear goods and services from India, enhancing bilateral cooperation in the energy sector. In a highly anticipated debate between Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris, both candidates delivered sharp exchanges on key issues like the economy, immigration, and healthcare. Trump emphasized his America First policies, focusing on strong borders and job creation, while Harris countered with the Biden administration's successes on infrastructure, climate change, and healthcare access. The debate saw Trump aggressively attacking Harris's record, while Harris critiqued Trump's handling of the pandemic and foreign relations. Early polls and pundits offered mixed results, with each candidate energizing their respective bases, but neither delivering a clear knockout blow to sway undecided voters. China has been expanding its global security influence through the Global Security Initiative, GSI, launched by President Xi Jinping in 2022. A key component of the GSI is China's plan to train 3,000 foreign law enforcement officers over the next year, aiming to boost international cooperation and address global security challenges, particularly in regions connected to the Belt and Road Initiative, BRI. Additionally, China is deploying police consultants and working units abroad to assist local law enforcement, conduct joint patrols, and combat cross-border crimes. This initiative reflects China's broader ambition to extend its security influence and safeguard its expanding overseas interests. Recently, significant protests erupted in Kenya over a proposed deal involving India's Adani Group. Workers at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, JKIA, Kenya's main international airport, went on strike to oppose the plan to lease the airport to the Adani Group for 30 years. The Aviation Workers Union claims the deal is opaque and could result in job losses. The strike led to widespread disruptions, with numerous flights delayed or canceled, and leaving passengers stranded. The union is demanding greater transparency and guarantees that the deal will not proceed without their input and assurance of job security for workers. India's National Security Advisor, Ajit Doval, recently met with Russian President Vladimir Putin in St. Petersburg, delivering a message from Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The discussions focused on India's efforts to mediate peace talks between Russia and Ukraine, following Modi's recent conversations with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Emphasizing India's commitment to diplomacy and conflict resolution, Doval's visit underscored India's role as a potential mediator. In addition to the Ukraine conflict, the meeting also covered bilateral issues and security cooperation, reaffirming the strong strategic partnership between India and Russia amid evolving global geopolitical challenges. The United States has unveiled a substantial new aid package for Ukraine, announced during U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken's visit to Kyiv. The package includes nearly $717 million in economic assistance, $290 million for humanitarian aid, and $325 million designated for repairing Ukraine's energy and electric grid. Additionally, the U.S. Department of Defense has allocated $125 million in military aid, featuring air defense missiles, munitions for high-mobility artillery rocket systems, HIMARS, javelins, and other anti-armor missiles. This support is intended to strengthen Ukraine's defense capabilities amid the ongoing conflict with Russia. North Korea's Kim Jong Un has recently mandated an exponential increase in the country's nuclear arsenal, directing a boost in both nuclear warhead production and intercontinental ballistic missile (ICBM) capabilities. Announced during a visit to a nuclear facility, Kim highlighted the need for a robust military stance to counter perceived threats from the United States and its allies. This escalation has sparked global concern, signaling North Korea's ongoing commitment to expanding its nuclear capabilities, despite international sanctions and diplomatic efforts aimed at curbing its nuclear program. The move underscores the persistent tensions and challenges in regional and global security. Pakistan has recently discovered a major oil and gas reserve in its territorial waters, confirmed after a 3-year survey. Projected to be one of the world's largest, potentially ranking as the 4th largest. This find could significantly enhance Pakistan's economy. While the extraction and development will take several years, the reserves are expected to reduce the country's reliance on imported oil and gas, bolstering energy security and economic stability. However, similar claims were made during Imran Khan's administration to attract investment and address loan repayment issues, raising skepticism about the current discovery's potential impact. Chancellor Olaf Scholz recently proposed reviving diplomatic efforts to end the war in Ukraine, suggesting the need to bring Russia to the negotiating table. While Scholz did not explicitly advocate for Ukraine to cede territory, he stressed the importance of a swift peace and including Russia in future negotiations. The proposal has received mixed reactions. The Kremlin dismissed it, claiming there are no current grounds for peace talks, and Germany's conservative opposition criticized Scholz's comments. They argue that pressing Ukraine into negotiations could result in a sham peace dictated by Russia, undermining genuine resolution efforts. China and Russia are collaborating on an ambitious project to build a nuclear power plant on the moon, spearheaded by Russia's Rosatom. The initiative aims to generate up to 0.5 megawatt of energy to support future lunar bases. This project is part of a larger effort to establish a sustainable human presence on the moon, with initial missions slated for 2026 and project completion expected by 2028, The collaboration underscores the increasing international cooperation in space exploration, even amid ongoing geopolitical tensions on Earth, highlighting a shared commitment to advancing lunar exploration and development. That's a wrap for today's global adventure. Remember, history is written by the victors, but podcasts are made by us. Subscribe for your weekly dose of global intrigue.